My name is Gary Clarkson. I'm the Managing Director of Villavent Limited. Villavent are part of a large group of companies in over 25 countries around the world, specialising in energy efficient ventilation. Its pedigree comes from its origin in Scandinavia, where from over 40 years quality in manufacture is central to the brand's image. Villavent design, supply, install, commission and service whole house ventilation systems to domestic residential properties, which include multiple housing, apartment blocks, student accommodation, care homes and self-build properties throughout the UK and Ireland.
At the time I was a commercial director of Gilway timber frame houses, and Gilway together with Dow Chemicals and Trada decided to build a house at Milton Keynes Energy World. And they were looking to put appropriate facilities in the house, one of which was the Villavent mechanical ventilation heat recovery system. And I was intrigued with that system because, as it happens, I was building my own house at the time. I had a concern about air movement in the house because it was built to a very high standard with double glazing, and my son is an asthmatic and I was concerned about air movement.
Here we have a typical whole house heat recovery ventilation system. This unit would be typical for a 4 or 5 bedroom house, and as you can see it's wall mounted, but you can also have a loft mounted version. The unit is easily accessible. The front cover just unclips at the bottom and then lifts off. And here we can see that we have a fan unit here and another fan in here, 2 filters, and central to the unit is a rotary wheel heat exchanger. This is a very important part of the system, as this will give approximately 80% heat recovery, together with an automatic summer bypass in the warm summer weather. In principle, we're extracting the wet air from the bathrooms and shower rooms through the filter, through the rotary wheel, where all of that air is sucked in by the fan and blown out to outside. At the same time, this fan unit here is sucking fresh air from outside across a very good filter, which is approved by the British Allergy Foundation, drawing the fresh air across the heat exchanger, collecting the heat before blowing the warmed, filtered fresh air back around the house. Here we have the fan speed controller, where we have 3 speeds which are able to be selected. The temperature the heat recovery requires to cut in at for summer operation or winter operation, and finally indications for filter blockage and summer operation.
The main reason for putting the Villavent system in was really getting air freshness in the house. I could also see tremendous benefits from the ability to be able to vent my cooker, my tumble dry, my shower and wet rooms through the mechanical ventilation. I didn't have to bring that out to the outside at all, so that all went through the system.
In many modern builds, it's quite common now to have a cathedral ceiling. And in a case like this, it's quite difficult to get the ductwork to provide fresh air to this space. So you can see in this area, what we have done is bring the ductwork from an adjoining space and put it through the vertical wall to provide the air in this instance. Here we are now on the 2nd floor. We have no roof space in this particular building, so it does prove a challenge for the siting of the heat recovery ventilation unit and the running of the ductwork. So what we've done here is we've located the heat recovery unit at the end of the building within a plant room and run the ductwork in the backfill, where we have a small comb space void, and then run the ductwork up between the rafter into the ceiling void and finished off here with a ceiling grill to provide fresh air, in this case, into the bedroom. However, in reducing the infiltration to our homes, we are now at risk of something the Canadians and the Scandinavians suffered from 25 years ago: sick building syndrome, and buildings literally dripping with condensation as moisture is not allowed to get out of the buildings. This can be both very damaging to our health and our buildings. The answer to this is to build tight, ventilate right.
One of the benefits of the Villavent system is that you don't have condensation problems at all. And I have a shower room. The shower room is not vented to the outside, and I don't have to open the windows. The windows, when my wife's in there having a long shower, might mist up slightly, but no condensation at all. The Villavent system copes with it.
Today's modern, well-insulated houses are also airtight in their construction, especially when they are timber frame. This is very advantageous in saving energy, in that in well-insulated houses the biggest energy user is not in the walls, ceilings or floors, but in the ventilation itself. Villavent's 4-colour CAD design is an effective tool to both the installer and the customer in demonstrating how the system is to be installed. Here we have a for approval CAD drawing which will be sent to the customer for comment before we finally issue for construction. This shows the heat recovery unit here in the loft space with attenuated ductwork shown in green, supply air ductwork in red, exhaust ductwork from the bathrooms in brown, and then fresh air and stale air to the outside wall grills. Villavent have been the forerunner in this sector since 1984, and during this time we have established from experience that a full service to the customer is necessary in order to ensure that the unit purchased operates to its full potential. Villavent incorporate the latest technology as you would expect, and this includes the latest high efficiency heat exchangers with automatic summer bypass in warmer weather, low energy DC motors and British Allergy approved filtration, awarding Villavent its coveted seal of approval. Villavent is well placed with both products and a nationwide network of engineers and installers to meet the needs of the marketplace in the coming decade.